Welcome to your daily reading, folks. I've already laid out your cards. I'm using the Light Seers Tarot this morning, and I've laid them out in a Celtic cross formation. Your central theme is the Six of Wands. You are enjoying accolades at this particular moment, or you're at least in that mindset of people are applauding your accomplishments. But here's your challenge. It's the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. It's facing towards the past. There's something about the past that's being carried forward into the future. This is about having everything you want, but not being satisfied with everything that you have. These accolades are they everything that you want? Not quite. Having security feels good too, but those accolades are a lot of what are making you happy right now. But this card is pointing back to the past. And in the past, we've got justice, and it's in reverse. Justice has not yet been satisfied. You're going to need to do something to sacrifice, to right the balance, if you will. Karma needs to be satisfied, and it is not yet. These accolades, having everything you want, is not making you feel good because something happened in the past that needs righting. It needs to be fixed. I pulled clarification cards on that Justice card in reverse. First, you had the Page of Pentacles in reverse. An opportunity was missed. Then you had the Eight of Cups in reverse. You had the opportunity to walk away and you didn't. You turned around and went back to something that you shouldn't have gone back to. And then the Tower happened. This came unexpectedly out of nowhere. You weren't looking for this. You missed it. And then suddenly it threw you out of your bed and you had no option but to face this Tower moment. Justice was not satisfied even in spite of this Tower moment. This should have been an opportunity of starting off on your own, for instance, starting a new life of your own. It would have been small. That Nine of Pentacles gives me a hint that you have a certain degree of wealth, possibly in connection with someone else. Possibly this is a job that you've enjoyed for a long time and it gets you what you want, but at what cost? It feels like you can't enjoy the riches that you have. Because having the accolades of being in a good job or being in a position of status. Maybe you don't have a job at all, but you do have a position of status that you enjoy on the surface, seen here in the Six of Wands upright, but on the inside, it's not satisfying something for you. You had the opportunity to walk away and you missed it. And so then a Tower moment happened. Justice is not happy, but it can be satisfied. I don't feel like you did this deliberately to say fuck you to the universe at all. I think that you think that you're doing the right thing for yourself. It's possible that you saw this missed opportunity as something else. You thought that it was dangerous, that it wasn't in your best interest, when in fact it was. You might have kind of looked at this with suspicion because it was going to take you out of your comfort zone. And that wasn't something that you wanted to do. Being out of your comfort zone, especially if you're an earth sign, really, really sucks. Other signs tend to are less, upset about being out of their comfort zone. Depending on what your birth chart looks like. You could have a lot of earth energy that tells you that staying stable, staying in the same place, consistency is the key to a good life, but this is saying that it isn't. Up top, you have the Ace of Cups. You are a consciously loving individual, and when I say up top, I mean this is in your conscious position, that you have a great deal of love and that you pour it out to other people. So this is where I kind of get this sense that you didn't do this because you wanted to say fuck you to the universe or anything along those. I don't get that sense at all. But at the same time, justice was not satisfied. Karma is not satisfied. And going forward, it does need to be taken care of in order for things to be right in your life. I see you as being a well-meaning person who just thought that they were doing the right thing, because I also have here inner strength. Alongside that Ace of Cups, a deeply loving individual, you are compassionate. It's possible that you are kind to smaller animals, for instance. That's kind of where I get the sense that you are a well-meaning individual. You do have a great deal of inner strength, that you are a force to be reckoned with. And that's kind of why it's sad to see this in reverse. You're a well-meaning person. You made a mistake. This Tower moment is rough, or it's possible, if it hasn't happened yet, that it's on the way. I see you as being a very strong individual who can get through these kinds of moments, but it's something that didn't have to happen. And now it feels like it's unavoidable, because here in your future position, you have the Five of Swords. This is about someone winning at your cost, at some cost to you. This could be a fight that finally ends things. This could be, if it's a job, if it's a career, kind of like I see here, or if it's starting a new life, same with the Page of Pentacles, that you're going to be forced to start a new life because this particular situation just gets to be so much of a headache, gets so out of hand that you have no choice but to move on while the person in the background is the victor. It's going to be hard, and it's going to be something that causes you at least some degree of suffering. You had the opportunity to walk away, and now it's being forced on you. The choice is being forced on you. In your advice position, you have the Knight of Wands. It's in reverse. This is about not being able to take action towards fixing anything to do with this Five of Swords here. It's just going to hurt. It's just going to be a massive headache for you, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it. This is often about dancing to the beat of your own drum, obviously, seen with this figure right here. Doing things a little bit differently, exploring different ways of doing things, and she's in reverse right now. You don't want to dance to the beat of your own drum. You want to stay consistent. You want to fulfill society's expectations because that feels like stability. And to a certain degree it is, but it comes at a great cost to you. It comes at a cost of being true to yourself. It comes at a cost of not reaching your highest self as soon as you possibly could, okay? We're all on a journey. Just because you messed up right here doesn't mean that you can't fix things later on and get back onto a different path. It would be a different fork in the road than if you had taken this opportunity right here, seen in the Page of Pentacles. But it doesn't mean that you can't still head towards your highest good, that you can't satisfy karma, that you can't satisfy the universe's understanding of justice. In your environment position, you've got the Ace of Wands in reverse. You're not doing anything new anyway, because this would suggest that you are doing something new. You're heading out towards new adventures, starting a new project, taking on a new way of behaving. This would be also taking on a new spiritual journey. And I suspect with that, some of that earth energy, that's very possible, that there's a new spiritual path that could be tempting you, but you're rejecting it. This is also about kind of sexuality kind of crinkling in on itself, like scrunching in, shrinking in on itself, if you express yourself in that way. I understand that I've got some asexual folks in my audience. A lack of creativity can also point to this card, but it's definitely about not taking action on something that you kind of want to in your heart of hearts, but I feel like you are deeply afraid of change, and of positive change too, because the universe wanted to show you some good stuff there with that Page of Pentacles. It's very possible that the very thing you're afraid of brings this opportunity back to you and gives you another chance, and that's kind of exactly what you could be afraid of. And I see you also possibly hoping for another shot at this too. And I hope that you take it. I hope that you take it. Because I feel like the universe possibly could offer it to you again, because you are a well-meaning person. You didn't mean to fuck something up for yourself. If anything, you are deeply concerned about taking care of yourself. You're just not enjoying it right now because you're doing the wrong thing to make yourself materially comfortable. Sometimes striking out and doing something completely new is really upsetting to the parts of ourselves that enjoy stability, but in this particular case, the universe wants you to move on to something that's of even greater stability than what you even have right now. And that may take time for you to get onto that new platform of deep stability, but you're meant to be there nonetheless, and you can't be there if you resist this. In your outcome position, you have the Two of Wands. I see you as dreaming of new places to be, to go. It's possible that with all this wand energy that I'm speaking to a fire sign, or that you have fire energy somewhere in your chart. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I saw in your monthly tarot forecast that you guys had some difficult obstacles to deal with this month. I could be speaking to you, and you might have some earth energy in your birth chart that makes things even more difficult for you. Having fire and earth kind of at odds with each other, they don't flow well together at all. When you think about how literally earth and fire get along, well, earth can put out fire. In fact, something we deal with in Texas a lot are grass fires. And so as people who have to deal with that kind of thing, I live on a farm, and something we're taught is to dig and get a shovel and start throwing dirt onto fire in order to put it out really, really quickly. And in the figurative sense, when it comes to our well-beings, to our souls, to our highest good, it can be really easy for earth energy to throw dirt onto fire and put it out, when that isn't something that we should do, and it doesn't feel great. You're not a prairie fire, you're not a grass fire. This is about dreaming of doing something new, and that's kind of a controlled burn, if you will. And I feel like here with that Knight of Wands in reverse that you've put your fire out, because that's what your society says is good for you to do right now. You can have fun later on in life is maybe what you're hearing. But meanwhile, your dreams aren't satisfied because you're not going anywhere. And getting away from this particular situation might be the key towards heading towards your dreams instead of staying in a situation that doesn't benefit you anymore. And I wonder with that Tower moment, it possibly hasn't happened yet. But if you can make things right before it happens, if you can satisfy justice before it happens, there's the potential that you can avoid this Tower moment from being so catastrophic towards you. To you is what I should say. Getting out of this situation is going to be key. You're going to need to bring this energy upright, and you're going to need to explore new ways of doing things. And that does mean that you're going to have to act a little bit differently than what your society expects, and I promise you it's worth it. The universe says it's going to reward you if you do that. There are ups and downs to every part of life, dude. It's not always going to be easy doing the right thing, but once you get a taste of freedom, there's no going back. I promise you that, okay? Once you get a taste of freedom, once you hop onto the journey, seeing the Three of Wands, it doesn't appear in my spread, but that's what follows this card. Once you hop onto the journey, there is no going back because it feels too good. Would you like to do 3 cards? Let's shuffle just a little bit and pull out 3 cards for you. This might have been a difficult reading for some to hear. You have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. It indicates to me that you're not taking care of yourself, that you're taking care of others before you take care of yourself, that you're spending money in the wrong directions. You need to learn to take care of yourself first. You need to learn to nourish yourself first. And I kind of see the Nine of Pentacles in reverse as being in alignment with the Queen of Pentacles. It would be great to see you being satisfied with what it is that you have on a physical level. What is bringing you material comfort that you haven't learned to appreciate yet? You have the Two of Swords in reverse. Utter state of confusion. A choice has been made, but it cannot be redeemed. So earlier I said that it's possible to avoid this Tower moment. I'm getting the feeling from my guides that that isn't the case anymore. That there was a point that you could have avoided this. You walked away from that opportunity with good intentions, of course, and now this is on the way. I'm sorry. I hope that you go to a therapist and work out the choice that you've made. No going back, but you can make good decisions in the future. You can make better decisions meant to benefit your highest self. This is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. This is the splitting of a partnership, the splitting up of a family that appears to be happy on the surface, but isn't really. People see, and this might be where the accolades and the Nine of Pentacles come from, people see you as the kind of person who has it all together, who has everything they could ever possibly want, and yet it's not enough. An opportunity was missed to walk away from this situation, and now the universe is going to force the Tower moment on you and your family. I am so sorry. I wanted to give a happier message, but I need to give you the truth, and I need to give you the message that my guides give me, that that Spirit gives me, instead of giving you happy fluff all the time. If you can face this Tower moment head on, you will come out on the other side an even stronger person than you already are. You are a well-meaning, loving person. We do make mistakes, and sometimes they're big ones, and what we choose to do with them is the biggest deciding factor in how we reach our highest selves or not. I wish you a healing journey. I wish you the very best through this Tower moment, and I will see you later. Take care.